I wish I had more to show you right now, but I just want to talk about the idea I have for the next video coming up. Ego and humility. To me, I look at it as it's two sides of the same coin. You can flex your ego and you can, but if you just start act like you're the guy, you can look at everyone else around you and you can compare yourself to these people and you can say if you're better than them, if you've got this more than them, if you've got that more than them. You know, just pulling your dick out and seeing how big it is. It's like people buying Hummers and all of that. Don't get me wrong, I love Hummers. But the stereotype is, of course, you buying a big car like that, then you're compensating for something down there. It's a dick fest, you know. You're just whipping your dick out and seeing what's bigger, and flaunting it about. You can look back at one of my old videos, how that analogy came to fruition. But then there's humility on the other hand, on the other side of the coin, and you don't compare yourself to anyone. You realize that what is the difference between you and this pigeon? You could kick this pigeon, yeah, but you could also be kicked the same way that you just kicked this pigeon. Same with like a fruit fly. You know, you swat it. What's saying you're not going to get swatted by a car when you try and cross the road? Even when you're comparing yourself to other people, you don't compare yourself to other people because you realize that, yo, this person is doing this and that person is doing that. I'm doing this and we're all doing our own thing. You know, this person might be ahead of me right now, but it's not my time right now. My time will come. That's something I want to talk about as well, but I'll show you. I've been experimenting a lot when it comes to making beats for the beats.
Oh, to see the life I've lived, to look back and see what I did. Fuck, how Christ was. Hush, 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 that's the motherfucker I love her. That's the motherfucker I love her. Can't trust no one with myself. I'm the only one that hurts myself. Can't wait to shake this body so I can fly off and be nobody.
I don't know how the fuck we got to this point. I don't know how we got to this point by making shit like that. But it just felt right, you know. I keep on thinking about the person I used to be before I went through the darkest night of the soul. And it's like you're trying to read and act off an instruction manual that someone else has given you about how you should live your life, about the person you should be and the things you should be doing. But once you go through the darkest night of the soul, once you have an ego death, you throw that instruction manual in the bin because you already have all the instructions in here. You just need the courage. Excuse me. You just need the courage to be able to carry out the instructions that have already been given to you. Ego and humility is probably the greatest thing you can at least come to realize about yourself. Practicing humility is, I think, the greatest skill a person can have. Because by practicing humility, you see the world for what it really is. You know? You see the world for what it really is. Because you don't try and make something out of nothing. You look at nothing and you see how beautiful nothing is. To me as well, with the ego side, it's more about controlling my ego so it don't get out of whack. Showing humility to myself, understanding that right now is not my time. My time will come. I just need to make sure I'm doing everything I can. I take one step forward. God, the universe, source, whatever the fuck you want to call it, takes 1,000 steps towards me. That's all it is. By me creating what I want to create, by me doing what I want to do, knowing that it's helping, knowing that it's working towards something greater than myself. It's one of the greatest things I think, not just I can do, but anyone can do. To teach others about your own experiences, to speak from the heart, and to hopefully find people to resonate with that message is, there's love, but that goes, it's above love. But with the ego, it's, nah, my time is now, and I don't even really like talking about it. But it's looking around and envying the people that, because right now, I look around and I look at the people my age, and they're having fun, they're going out, clubbing, partying, drinking, doing this and doing that. Meanwhile, there's me, reading whatever occult and esoteric text I could fucking read. You know, doing, creating, staying on my lonesome. I envy them people, but then I look at it and it's like, I'm happy they're having fun. You know, I'm happy they're having fun. I'm happy that they're at least living their life, or they're living according to this instruction manual. I hope one day they put down that manual and they look at themselves and understand how they really want to be. And they understand the manual that they actually want to use, whether it's the one that someone gave them to use, or it's the manual in here. They guide themselves with the compass in here. I want to say this one thing as well. I mean, I've read the fucking Lesekia Solomon a lot of times. And the fucking stuff you need to do. Demon doesn't come, get your chains of iron, wrap that shit around, get a bronze, start hitting. It's so stupid, but I always bring it back to the power of belief. You know, I always bring it back to the power of belief. If a group of people charged enough energy into that into that belief that if a demon doesn't come, you do this, and then it will come, or if it doesn't come that time, even when you try doing this thing, then you do that, you do this, you do this, from the power of belief, things like that manifest into this physical reality. It's the exact same way as if you believe something up here, if you feel it in here, it will transpire out there. It all starts with the belief. It also starts with the choice to believe it as well. The choice to throw your ego in the bin. The choice to look at life for what it really is for you. It's not my time to go clubbing, to do this, to do that. I've been down that route about drinking and all of that way before anyone even knew what that shit was about. And that shit fucked me up. That shit fucked me up. And I remember one day I just was so fed up with drinking. I was drinking because I became conscious to the person that I was. I became conscious to the instruction manual that I was reading, that everyone else gave me, or living according to other people's expectations of me. I used to drink myself to fucking sleep, man. Wake up, start drinking, go to sleep, I'm fucked. I would. There's numerous nights where I remember just crying myself to sleep. I would be drunk as fuck, crying myself to sleep because of how guilty I felt. How guilty I felt treating other people. Ego will always be there. Ego will always be there. And there's always going to be a part of me that, would sell his soul. And you can't really sell your soul. But what you can do is do diminishing things that hurt your soul a lot. And you'll have to work up on it the next lifetime and the next lifetime and the next lifetime. You can't sell your soul. A soul isn't a form of currency. But what you can do is damage it. You can damage it by... I mean, come on. Why do you think there's all these child sex rituals and all of that shit? You might get easy money, you might get easy fame, you might get easy power, but at the end of the day, none of that means anything. It's just easy.
I sold my soul awaken. I sold my fucking name just to have some fucking fame. Now I'm all alone again. Crossroad, 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 and crossroad, and crossroad, 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 and crossroad.
We all know how we would be if we sold our souls. We all know how cold we will be. It brings out the worst in us when our soul is cracked and it's damaged. And we just, rather than feeling love when you're practicing humility, you're feeling anger and hate when you're wrapped around your ego. I'll see you when I see you.